I'm Jeff Hunt. He's Bill Thorpe. It's Tuesday.
Hey, how's your medical coverage? Paying those premiums? I know, I always get to make it awkward.
That felt oddly invasive.
Yes, it did. Just like a prostate exam without greeting. Brace yourself, here it comes. And maybe this time I'll wear the glove.
All right. We are going to talk Medicare Advantage because the libs are seeking to push us into single payer, trying to get rid of Medicare Advantage. We're going to hear why it's so important when Darren Grubb from Medicare Advantage Majority joins us. This is going to be all part of the coming debate over Obamacare subsidies, all this, because we decided that the best thing to do is hand our health care over to the government. No, this is going to be an important conversation out there, especially if you are on Medicare Advantage, what Darren and others are doing to protect your services from the libs. But now it's time for news and comment with Blake Olson.
Blake Olson.
Blake Olson, news and comment.
Hey, good Tuesday morning, 35, partly cloudy in Denver, expecting a high of 47 today. News sponsored by Pastor Camp Heating and Air Conditioning at 303-777-1234 to learn more about special savings opportunities on Lennox equipment. Our top story, Ukraine has reportedly agreed to terms of a peace deal to end its war with Russia. A U.S. official reportedly said just minor details need to be ironed out for the DJT administration brokered deal to be finalized. It comes as Ukraine's national security advisor said a common understanding had been reached. Today marks one of the busiest days on the roads, of course, for Thanksgiving travelers. Some 73 million people are expected to drive to their holiday destination, according to AAA. So take it slow, take it easy, and get there. General Mike Flynn says this is the post of the day, from Pete Hegseth to Senator Mark Kelly, who was showing his medals. Hegseth says, "So, Captain Kelly, not only did your sedition video intentionally undercut good order and discipline, but you can't even display your uniform correctly. Your medals are out of order and rows reversed when, if you are recalled to active duty. It'll start with the uniform inspection." Love it. Inflation rose in September. According to government figures, the Producer Price Index, which measures wholesale prices, increased 0.3%. Higher prices for gas, food, and cars accounted for much of the rise. The PPI is the last piece of inflation data the Fed will consider before its December meeting on interest rates. A pair of turkeys will be pardoned by 47 today at the White House. The turkeys are named Gobble and Waddle, and they're staying at the Willard Hotel in D.C. ahead of the ceremony. First Lady Melania expected to take part in the annual tradition. One suspect was taken into custody earlier this morning in Southeast Highlands Ranch after an area was briefly under a shelter-in-place order while Douglas County deputies searched for two suspects. However, it only turned out to be one suspect that they needed, and no details on that in Southeast Highlands Ranch. AG Pam Bondi says she'll appeal after the criminal indictments against, big Tish and big dummy, former FBI Director James Comey. Where is that guy?
You
big
dummy, you big dummy, you big cold-blooded dummy.
They were dismissed by a federal judge.
The judge found that Lindsay Halligan, President Trump's hand-picked interim U.S. attorney in Virginia, was not lawfully appointed because of laws limiting how long top prosecutors can serve without Senate confirmation.
NBC's Alice Barr reports Comey was indicted for allegedly lying to Congress. Remember that? About the Trump-Russia investigation. Big Tish was indicted for mortgage fraud, of course. Bondi says all available action will be taken. I hope so. When you're at the Thanksgiving table and you're about to get into it, remember, it's all about seeking the truth. Tucker telling Sean Ryan why he had Nick Fuentes on his show.
It's not my generation, so I just didn't know. But Nick Fuentes first became known freshman year of college, like first month of college. He's a student at BU, and he put something on the internet, Twitter or something, and basically like, why does Israel control our Congress? Something like that. He's a college freshman. And Ben Shapiro, sitting at like command center somewhere, was like, what? A college student who's not on board with the program? Destroy him. And Ben Shapiro tries to, quote, cancel this kid. He's a fucking college student.
Whoa, hey, Billy, you got that one? Hey, all right, thank you. Whoa, hey. All right, the Rockies promoting
Surprise for everybody
Warren
listening to the video. That'll Easter egg for you.
Sorry, I had that one edited. The Rockies promoting Warren Schaefer to manager, remove the interim manager tag. Good luck to him. It'll be a great story if they win the division. Nuggets in Memphis last night. Nuggets 125-115 over the Grizz. The Nuggets' Jamal Murray, 29 points. And 8 assists, 6 3-pointers. Sharks and the Avalanche tomorrow, Monday Night Football. Last night, Christian McCaffrey, 89 yards and a touchdown against his former team. All right, 34 in Arvada, 33 in Parker, 35 in Denver, and you're waking up with Jeff and Billy, and you can smell the turkey and the parade tomorrow. Yes, Blake Olson, News Talk, 710 KNUS.
Partly cloudy skies, breezy and colder today. Denver will see temperatures in the low to mid-40s, lows tonight in the low to mid-20s. Highs will be in the lower to mid-50s for Wednesday and Thursday, as temperatures will bounce back up a little bit as we go into Wednesday and Thanksgiving Day. Increasingly cloudy on Friday. Temperatures will stay in the 50s, but it will be colder. Some light snow chances could develop late Friday night into the day Saturday and Sunday, and much colder for the weekend. Meteorologist Don Day in the 710 KNUS Weather Center.
We probably see the ads oftentimes on Fox News for Medicare Advantage. Well, John Oliver and the libs targeting it now, seeking to take it out in an effort to bring about full single-payer health care. To give us a good defense of why Medicare Advantage is so important is Darren Grubb with Medicare Advantage Majority. Good morning, Darren. Thank you for joining the Jeff and Bill Show.
Good morning. Great to be with you guys. How are you?
Great. Glad to have you here because we all know that in the next coming weeks and months, Obamacare, single payer, Medicare, Medicaid, all of it's going to be front and center in big debates in Washington, D.C. And you can tell that the left wants to take out Medicare by the amount of attention. My goodness, John Oliver dedicating an entire hour basically to trying to pick it apart. I didn't think he was all that successful, but tell us, Darren, why Medicare is so important. Medicare Advantage is so important.
Yeah, and let me tell a little bit about our organization too, to give you a flavor for what we're fighting and what we're doing here. So we are Medicare Advantage Majority, which is a nonpartisan and nonprofit organization dedicated to protecting and strengthening the Medicare Advantage program, which serves over 34 million seniors and people with disabilities around the country. And in Colorado alone, gentlemen, more than 555,000 of your seniors, that's 53% of your eligible Medicare population, have chosen Medicare Advantage. And so it is a hugely beneficial program for millions and millions of people around the country. And, for listeners and viewers who don't know, the appeal of Medicare Advantage is that it delivers comprehensive and high-quality, affordable care that goes beyond traditional fee-for-service Medicare, and that's exactly what it sounds like. If you're on traditional Medicare, every time you need a service, you pay a fee. And so Medicare Advantage kind of bundles all of the best parts of the Medicare program. offering benefits like dental, vision, hearing coverage, in-home care. And unlike traditional Medicare, Medicare Advantage provides prescription drug coverage, that Medicare Part D that you hear so much about. And importantly, there's a cap on out-of-pocket costs annually, which is really important for seniors, who are on a fixed income and especially we're trying to punch our way out of these kind of high cost, high inflationary times that we're still in. So it's a very important program, highly popular, the preferred choice of the majority of people who are Medicare eligible. And our coalition is built around advocates nationwide to include caregivers, beneficiaries, community leaders, healthcare providers. Really, the entire caregiving ecosystem is kind of the angle that we come at this, because beneficiaries know what this program means to them and to their well-being, but the caregivers do as well. And caregivers are often a spouse or a child or a grandchild taking care of an elder in their lives. And so this has a multi-factor effect, this program, that touches a lot of people around the country.
That's Darren Grubb with Medicare Advantage Majority talking about the program that 550,000 seniors here in Colorado rely upon. Where are you seeing the threats to this program? I mean, is there a real concerted effort to try to shut down Medicare Advantage?
Despite really high satisfaction rates and continued strong enrollment, the past couple of administrations, we have seen cuts to the program, particularly the last administration. And so, this was something that President Trump campaigned on. He campaigned on protecting Medicare, strengthening Medicare and Medicare Advantage. And, a lot of members of Congress who were running, campaign on the same platform. And so, this is something that we expect and have seen so far to stay protected and funded in Washington. But, this did come up during the budget reconciliation process this summer, the big, beautiful bill. There was, the idea floated of including cuts or changes to Medicare Advantage. And our coalition activated. We activated our coalition around the country, and seniors and caregivers reached out to their members of Congress through phone calls and texts and letters and emails and showing up at town hall meetings to make their voices heard. And Congress got the message. They heard loud and clear from the constituents that to cut Medicare Advantage would be bad for their beneficiaries, but also for our veterans and for our people who live in rural communities, our low-income seniors. This would have pass billions of costs onto those constituents, and so Congress got the message really quickly that any cut to Medicare Advantage would be met with strong opposition.
Yeah, what's unique here is that both John Hickenlooper and Michael Bennett joined a bipartisan group of 57 other Senate colleagues in a letter calling for the Biden administration, back when there were concerns about cuts to Medicare Advantage, to continue it, to support it. They write, the number of Americans who choose Medicare Advantage continues to grow each year, with enrollment doubling over the last decade, resulting in Medicare Advantage serving nearly 50% of all individuals eligible for Medicare. So you get to the retirement age, you get Medicare, and then Medicare Advantage becomes a supplemental on top of it that provides a lot of benefits. People seem to like it, and you have what seems like a strong bipartisan coalition supporting it.
Yeah, that's right. Medicare Advantage is really a great example of a public-private partnership, between the federal government and private providers, and give, choice is a huge component of the Medicare program. And so every year, and we're currently in open enrollment, as you know, seniors have the choice. Seniors over the age of 65 have the choice to choose between a traditional Medicare plan or a Medicare Advantage plan based on their needs. And so, part of our job as an organization is to help educate seniors and help educate caregivers about the benefits of the Medicare Advantage program to see if it meets their needs for the current time, but also the coming year. And so, again, as I mentioned, the added benefits of having the dental coverage and hearing and vision and in-home care, and importantly, the prescription drug coverage all bundled into one is really appealing. And I think that speaks to the reason the program is so popular.
That's Darren Grubb with Medicare Advantage Majority joining Jeff and Bill live. Now, earlier, Mr. Grubb, you talked about the idea that has a high satisfaction rate. but it also is the idea of, one provider government sort of issued health care. What I want to know from you is what balance has Medicare Advantage been able to strike between the idea of a socialized single-payer system that many of us, especially the elderly, would hearken back to conditions in like the 80s in the USSR that has fallen apart now. That idea of bare bones care, nothing is really taken care of, and endless lines, but yet Medicare Advantage Majority has been able to navigate a high satisfaction rate. How have you been able to shed that idea of an overburdened socialist system, but actually provide care and services that the people that sign up for Medicare Advantage actually enjoy? It seems like a dichotomy that in America we shouldn't have, yet somehow y'all have managed it. Tell us what the secret sauce is.
Well, we look at it this way. Seniors who have turned 65 have paid into a system their entire careers, right? They have paid into a system that they expect to be there for them when they retire. And, we believe that seniors have earned, if you will, the right to age gracefully and independently and on their own terms, with the comfort and security knowing that their health care benefits are going to be there and provided for at an affordable cost. And so, we are, of course, focused on the here and now to make sure that this current Congress, stands up for seniors and protects and strengthens this program. But we're also looking to the horizon. I mean, I'm in my early 50s, and Medicare age seems kind of far away from me, but not really, because I remember when I was 35, and here I am, 50 years old. And so, we are focused on the horizon generation as well, and those who are in the pipeline, to one day be eligible to receive the benefits that they've been paying into their entire careers. And so we're focused on the here and now, but also the long term. And to your point, it is a program that, again, benefits millions and millions of people around the country and their families. It saves time, it saves money. It helps caregivers, who are caring for families at home, but also caring for an aging family member. It provides the flexibility for them to do both and to manage both. And we are in very busy times, and people are juggling a lot. And so, this is a program that is popular for a reason. This is a program that continues to show strong enrollment, as you mentioned, and the numbers really speak for themselves. And so, I think Congress understands the import of this program to the millions and millions of people around the country who rely on it.
That's Darren Grubb with Medicare Advantage Majority. Oh, Mr. Grubb, everybody that has some, older people in their lives know that very special day when you get that AARP letter. You now qualify for it. You're like, oh, this sucks. That is a day none of us want to circle on the calendar.
I know.
Yeah. Now, one of the things I was hearing from you that, and correct me if I'm wrong, is that Medicare Advantage Majority has been able to negotiate, or at least provide, a health care plan that allows seniors to plan. One of the things that is the most difficult, and of course, my mom's in retirement age. My dad has left us a number of years ago. But I understand the idea of working on a fixed income. How difficult that is given cost of living goes up about 3% a year. So you have a fixed income, and we have an entire generation that is out there trying to plan for expensive medical care, but on a limited budget. Now, what I heard from you is that Medicare Advantage Majority is allowing those seniors to be able to plan for both today and their near future medical coverage because it is predictable. You're not saying that Medicare Advantage Majority is going to be holding these prices static forever, that you are planning for the future. But one of the real advantages, yes, I'm using it on purpose, is the fact that the plan allows the seniors to plan. Is that correct?
Yeah, that is fair. And just one point of clarification. So our organization, Medicare Advantage Majority, we don't represent any one provider, any one party within this space. We represent really the as I mentioned, the caregiving ecosystem. So a coalition of beneficiaries and caregivers and healthcare providers, community leaders. And so, but your point is spot on. The benefits of Medicare Advantage is that it provides just that the continuity and the predictability year over year for seniors to choose, again, the best program that fits their needs. And there are a lot of plans out there, a lot of providers. We do encourage seniors and their families to do their homework and to look into and speak with their providers, speak to their plan providers, because they do vary market to market and state to state. But within that ecosystem, you can find a plan that meets your needs. And I think, the appeal again, the added benefits that you receive all in one bundle, if you will, of the in-home care and vision coverage and dental coverage and prescription drug coverage. And importantly, and this is kind of to your point, the cap on out-of-pocket costs. And so, if an unexpected medical situation arises in any given year, that you're only going to be out of pocket X amount. There's a cap, and it cannot go higher than that. And that is really important for seniors who may have multiple chronic conditions. This is Medicare Advantage is a plan that attracts people with multiple chronic conditions because of the integrated way in which care is provided. The coordinated care, that may help a senior better navigate whether it's heart disease or high blood pressure or diabetes. Again, chronic conditions that need to be managed and managed early and managed well through preventative care is important, because that lessens the chance that senior will end up with a trip to the ER or a trip, a long extended hospitalization. And so, Medicare Advantage provides the tools for a senior to plan over the long haul and to make sure that their needs are being met in a coordinated, compassionate, integrated way.
That's Darren Grubb with Medicare Advantage Majority. There's a group out there that are trying to get us all into socialized single-payer health care. Well, Darren Grubb, Medicare Advantage Majority, fighting to keep Medicare Advantage available to you. You can join them by going to MedicareAdvantageMajority.org. That's MedicareAdvantageMajority.org. Join the effort to keep Medicare Advantage available for you and for the 550,000 seniors in Colorado that rely upon it. Darren, we sure appreciate your time this day.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Guys, thank you so much. Have a great Thanksgiving week.
You
Likewise,
too. Enjoy Thanksgiving.
Too. So as you're out there talking with your family members around the Thanksgiving dinner table, if they rely upon Medicare Advantage, tell them to go join the effort to fight to protect it by going to MedicareAdvantageMajority.com. All right, Billy, we may have a Thanksgiving Day miracle.
What?
Ukraine agreeing to a peace deal? We'll have the latest on that. First, though, let's talk Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center in Denver. Their clearance center offers a huge selection of ranges, refrigerators, washers, dryers, and more. Save up to 60% on open box, scratch, and dent display models and overstocked appliances from Bosch, Thermador, KitchenAid, and many more. When you're looking for great deals on appliances, think Mountain High Appliance Center or Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center for the best prices and selection. Mountain High Appliance Clearance Center, 601 East 64th Avenue in Denver, 601 East 64th Avenue in Denver. And we'll continue with the breaking news. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's Talk Leader News Talk 710 KNUS.
Billy, DJT may have delivered another war brought to an end, a peace deal signed. What is this, number 50?
Or 2. Yeah, we'll see.
2? I think he says 8 or 9.
I know, but we know that he's not very good at the math anyway. So the idea that 8 or 9, yeah, right. And in fact, even some of the people involved in those conflicts go, yeah, not so much. Not so much. But that's okay. He always takes credit for stuff he didn't do.
All the Nobel Peace Prizes.
Yeah, sure, yes.
Ukraine agrees to peace deal. Fox News headline, U.S. official says Ukraine has agreed to a peace deal that would end the war with Russia. Some minor details of the agreement are still to be sorted out. Lieutenant Colonel Jeff Tolbert, spokesperson for the U.S. Army Secretary Dan Driscoll, has told Fox News that Driscoll and his team met with Russian officials in Abu Dhabi on Monday and Tuesday to discuss the framework of a Ukraine peace deal. The talks are going well, and we remain optimistic. Secretary Driscoll is closely synchronized with the White House and the U.S. interagency as these talks progress. A U.S. official told Fox News that the Ukraine delegation was also in Abu Dhabi and was in contact with Driscoll and his team. The diplomatic flurry over the weekend followed the leak of a 28-point peace plan to Axios, which many European leaders and U.S. lawmakers viewed as largely favorable to Russia. Representative Don Bacon of Nebraska said on X that the initial proposal by the U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff was, quote, a surrender document for Ukraine that would have left it at the mercy of Russia for decades to come, unquote. He said the latest version, developed with Secretary of State Marco Rubio's involvement and input from Ukraine and European officials, was a better plan. We must stand on the side of freedom and rule of law, Bacon wrote. Ukraine's decision to agree to the deal came hours after Russia launched an overnight attack on Kiev that killed at least 6 people and injured 13. The strikes on residential buildings and civilian infrastructures come as U.S. and Ukrainian officials met over the weekend in Geneva to discuss the 28-point peace plan being pushed by the Trump administration to end the nearly 4-year war. Ukraine's Secretary of National Security and Defense Council cited the talks in Geneva in addressing his country's agreement to major parts of the peace plan. He says, we appreciate the productive and constructive meetings held in Geneva between Ukrainian and U.S. delegations, as well as President Trump's steadfast efforts to end the war. Our delegation reached a common understanding on the core terms of the agreement discussed in Geneva. We now count on the support of our European partners in future steps. Bill, what do you think?
Yeah, let's see. And I'm going to hold my powder before I see if this is actually a peace deal because of how it came about. One, we haven't seen if this is the same plan that was leaked by Axios or not. And I think that is very relevant in the conversation because from what I read and looked at as far as the peace deal, that's a Russian peace deal. That has nothing to do with Ukraine. That's no negotiation at all. That is the U.S. just rolling over and saying, Big Daddy Putin, what do you want? Because located inside of that peace deal, not only does it give Russia all the territory they have taken, but there's no... there's what I have to figure out is, what is Russia giving up? Ukraine gives up a lot, including partial sovereignty. It gives up territory. It gives up NATO membership in perpetuity. It also has to pay protection money to the U.S., and that's undefined. There's a whole lot they give up, and I can't figure out anything in that peace deal that Russia gives up. And the thing for me is, Russia was the aggressor. So it is, in my terms, a surrender document, if we're going off of that one. If we're not and it's something new, all right, I am open to see what happened. But the problem I've got is, do we think that Russia is going to agree to a deal that is, one, crafted by the Ukraine and U.S., and that's probably not going to happen. And if Ukraine comes back and wants to make alterations to the current plan that was leaked, my feeling is Russia's probably going to say no. And the reason they're going to say no is because they already got everything they wanted in the original draft. Why would they ever come back and negotiate if all they had to do is hand Witkoff a set of marching orders and say, this is what we want, and he delivers it to Ukraine? So if Ukraine makes even minor changes to it, I am real skeptical that the Russians will accept it. I'm not sitting here and trying to indict Trump administration saying he's ineffective on it. I'm just saying that strategically, if Russia, as I feel, this is their list of wants and needs for the end of the war, when that is changed by Ukraine, they have no motivation to say yes. They don't, because they're getting everything they want in the original document. They're going to hang on to and try to get to that original document. So let's wait until we see the ink dry on the peace deal. And I also feel that if the peace plan that the U.S. is pushing with Ukraine and wanting them to sign it, because Russia started from a position of strength, there's no way they would then give up some of that strength by giving in to any of the demands or requests from Ukraine. That wouldn't make any sense based on what we know about Putin. That's the issue. I want to wait until the ink is dried. I am very skeptical on this one, but we can always hope for the best.
What do you think we do with Putin?
Whatever he wants us to, because we sure don't want to stand up to him. We have no interest in standing up to him. We have no interest in pushing back on him. I think Trump has got 3 or 4 major land developments already slated in Russia. I think he's got 2 or 3 Trump towers that are slated to be built. No.
You think that interferes?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think it does. Do I think that he is capitulating based on that? No. But do I think it interferes? Yeah, because the president's organization and business has some deals with Putin. Of course, they want things to be friendly. Of course.
But
and we know Putin holds a grudge.
Would you say that Biden was tough on Putin?
Not necessarily. No. I don't think he was tough enough nearly. No. Not at all. I mean, I'd go back. I mean, again, I'd be pulling from someone like Reagan. And don't even get me into Barack Obama. He was horrible. Absolutely atrocious with Russia.
I remember
atrocious.
The way he mocked Mitt Romney for even raising that Russia might be a problem.
Oh, I absolutely. I would love to get into some sort of a debate with Barack Obama about the importance of Russia and how he let them have Crimea.
But
that is crap.
Do you think the war would have happened? Do you think the invasion into Ukraine would have happened if Trump was president?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Really? You think so?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and the reason why, is this peace plan. It's 110% why. Because if you look at this peace plan that the U.S. is reportedly adopting and trying to get Ukraine to sign is a wish list of Russian demands. That's not a strong president holding Russia accountable for invading another country. They get all the land they want. They get the NATO issue that they wanted. They then decide how much that Ukraine can compete inside of the EU. They decide who Ukraine's allies are. They're dictating foreign policy to the U.S. This shows weakness on an international stage because it is a Russian wish list to end the war in which they were the aggressor. The U.S. is, hang on, wait, let me finish this for a second. The U.S. is not a party in the conflict, yet the peace deal dictates who we can be allies with. That makes no sense. That NATO was not a party to this conflict, yet the deal actually tells NATO who can join membership. That is surrender, 110%. It's surrender.
You think the United States, if this peace deal is the way it was listed in Axios, that the United States and Ukraine are surrendering?
Yep, 110%, because Russia gives up nothing. Bill, and not only that, it dictates foreign policy.
What's the response? You want to have a land war in Russia?
I want to fund Ukraine to a larger extent. I want to push back on Russia as hard as possible. I am not okay.
That's just never-ending war.
Hang on a second.
You're going to fund a little tiny country like Ukraine to continue to battle Russia until what? Ukraine invades Russia?
Hang on. I didn't say anything about Ukraine invading Russia. What I'm looking at is we have Russia invading a tiny country, and they've held up for 4 years. This tiny country is held up for 4 years.
Yeah.
Don't tell me they don't.
You think that's just going to continue?
Hang on. Don't tell me they don't have the stones to be able to do this. The issue is, do they have the support? And part of the reason I believe the Ukrainians are talking to America right now is because of Donald Trump's threat that if you don't sign this Russian wish list of a peace deal, we will cut off all support. that's an issue. They can lose a vast majority of the support they need for this war. That's an issue. So now, does it look like we are surrendering to Russia, that we are giving in to Russian demands? Yes, 110%.
But Russia didn't fully invade Ukraine.
What? Okay.
Wouldn't that be a surrender? A surrender is when you walk away and you go, all right, you win. You win.
Yeah, you win our land. Russia took
all of
land.
It, but not all of it.
Yeah, I think it's all. Yeah, they outlined three regions.
All of Ukraine now belongs to Russia.
No. The territory that Russia has captured through the war, they get to keep. That's crap. Why in the hell would we allow?
That's a negotiation,
Hang on a sec.
Bill, and I don't want to end up in forever wars.
I know.
And I'm definitely not interested in sending our sons and daughters to go die in this war.
But you're telling me that the strong Trump administration, the guy who's the art of the deal, the master negotiator, got
peace?
Wait, not got peace, got none of the invaded territory back? None of it? That's the crazy question.
But they're done invading.
Wait,
they're done fighting.
Hang on. This is the question. That's not what I'm asking. Russia illegally invaded Ukraine and took territory, and the master negotiator can't get any of it back, can't figure out a way to get some of the Ukrainian sovereignty back.
Bill, you would just keep this war right on going, right on until, in your mind, the only way that it wouldn't be, quote, surrender would be if the original borders were maintained.
No, I could come to a place where we could get to some sort of an agreement. I'm not going to be intractable about it, but I'm not giving Russia all of the territory they took illegally. I'm not okay with an adversary invading one of our allies and then us saying, I get to keep part of it. This is nothing more than, if they're following the Axios leaked plan, it's nothing more than setting the table for more Russian aggression, because there's nothing inside that peace deal that stops any further Russian aggression. And remember, security for Ukraine in that document is basically predicated on a yearly payment system to the U.S. like protection.
Good.
Like protection. And there's no number.
Them to.
I know, and they're good. So you want to run it like a mob racket. And there's no outline number.
I'm tired
so we could come in next year and say, it was good that it was $5 million last year.
Citizens on foreign wars. I'm just over it. It's like being back in Vietnam, Bill, where you're like, if we don't defend Vietnam, communists are just going to march right on through. It's the domino theory all over again.
Oh, no, not the domino theory. I'm just talking about protecting our allies. I mean, we went in to clean up the French mess inside of Vietnam. That's why we're there. The French made a mess of that one. We were just trying to fix their mistakes. But the issue for me...
What do we get out of having an allied relationship with Ukraine? What benefits America?
One, the strategic nature of where Ukraine sits in Europe. Two, it is the breadbasket of Eastern Europe. It is the provider of grains and food for a large majority. That's why Russia wants that territory. They also want access to the waterways.
Do we rely on that bread basket?
No, in some cases, no, but in some cases we do.
I don't care anymore.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry your neighbor's Russia.
Okay. So the idea
I'm
is,
not
basically
spending our dollars and our blood to defend you.
Okay.
I'm over it.
How many countries should Russia be able to allow to be taken inside of Europe? And would you also give China Taiwan? Because that doesn't matter to us, does it? I mean, it's not our people.
I think we have a better strategic. I think Taiwan's strategically more important.
For what?
Then
who cares? For what?
For some of the tech development.
For what? But we can buy that from Russia. We can buy that from China. We're doing it right now.
Yeah.
Just buy it from China. Doesn't matter. Give
Taiwan
to China.
I don't want to buy it from China, but maybe we should grow it here in this country.
Give it to China. Just give Taiwan to China.
Make it here.
You just give Taiwan to China and give Russia as much of Europe as they want. Just ask them. Ask Russia, because if you don't want to go to war and if you don't want to protect our allies, just what we need to do is, instead of this peace deal, we just need to ask Russia, how much of Europe do you want? And then sign the deal and just give it to them.
I'm trying to figure out what is the benefit, because I'm tired of being the world's police, and I don't know what the benefit is to the United States. So what if Russia takes Ukraine? What's the harm to the United States in your mind?
I outlined that earlier. There are strategic reasons for it based on where it sits in Europe. There's access to waterways. There's the breadbasket. There's minerals, and the fact that it is and the fact that it is a sovereign nation. And the issue that I find very strange, the issue I find very strange is that you're not willing to defend them when they're an ally. You're like, so what? You're not close enough. You don't matter enough to us to be an ally to defend your sovereignty, even though we promised them to do that in the 90s. We swore to them. We signed a deal to protect their sovereignty. So now our word's not worth the paper it's printed on. So our word doesn't matter. Our being an ally with us doesn't matter. And Russia can have who you want. Russia can have whatever you want.
Soldiers.
Okay. Russia can have whatever they want in Europe. Go right ahead. That's it. That's it. Go right ahead.
Yeah, I just don't buy into this fear-mongering anymore.
Okay.
I mean, this was kind of the same thing that was pushed in Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam.
Yeah.
It's like, if we don't fight this battle right here, the whole world's going to collapse.
Yeah.
And I'm over it. I just don't think it's true.
Okay, just give them all of Ukraine. Might as well. You might as well just
I mean,
reassemble
you're just
the
doubling
USSR.
down on it. You're just like, well, then no, they get it
go
all.
Ahead, give it all.
And
Take it all to. Give it them all.
In
Give it all to them.
France, they'll be speaking Russian.
No, just give it all to them.
Let's go to.
You don't have a problem with it. Might
Let's
as well.
talk Dan Caplis with Dan Caplis Law. Dan suggests you should choose a lawyer who shares your values, because who you choose to represent you in an injury case says a lot about you to everyone involved in the case. Dan Caplis is the son of a police officer and a former seminarian who's dedicated the last 40 years of his life to helping people who've been hurt in serious motor vehicle crashes. Dan is believed to be the only lawyer in Colorado history to win 5 straight multi-million-dollar verdicts in Colorado crash cases. Dan is also believed to have won the largest truck crash verdict in Colorado history. Dan just delivered a $200 million verdict to that family that lost that young, beautiful little girl in the Glenwood Springs amusement park crash, the amusement park that ignored the alarms on the safety belt and then started the ride, and the poor young girl died. He got justice for that family. He's held that company accountable. He's actually improved the lives of all of us here in Colorado that take our kids to amusement parks. Dan Caplis is the official law firm partner of the Denver Nuggets and the Colorado Avalanche. Dan Caplis Law is a serious firm for serious cases. Dan accepts righteous injury cases on a percentage fee basis so that he can represent good people from all walks of life without regard to ability to pay. But if you need Dan's help, give him a call. Here's the phone number, 303-770-5551, 303-770-5551, or hit dancaplisLaw.com. That's Dan, C-A-P-L-I-S Law.com. We'll continue with your phone calls and texts. You're listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
This is Denver's talk leader, News Talk 710 KNUS.
Welcome back to the Jeff and Bill Show. Billy, we covered it all today to prepare people for Thanksgiving, how to dress on an airplane, the Seditious Six video in the Department of War going after Mark Kelly. Is Brigitte Macron a man?
No.
The Ukraine peace plan and your Medicare Advantage. We literally set you up perfectly.
Wow.
For Thanksgiving. Now, tomorrow, Pete Boyle's here with Billy on the imaginary Thanksgiving Day parade. Don't miss it. You've been listening to the Jeff and Bill Show.
Yes. Who are you going to skewer? Join us tomorrow. This is your chance on air. Have a good day. Can you?